What's going on, YouTube? It's Mark the Greatest, and today I'm going to be speaking Autism 5. So today I'm just going to talk about my experiences with autism, but also I'm going to talk about what I think about autism and what people have said to me about autism. So basically my experience with autism, it's like I've said in my previous videos, it's been pretty cool because I get to express myself as, being different, as having having a different way of thinking, which I think is pretty cool, and having autism is just really cool. And to be honest with you, I think that autism can be a label because it's a diagnosis, and it's just, I feel like it's something used to label people when, we're not actually defined by who we, by a name, but we're defined by who we are as a person. We're, you know, we're not defined by our actions. It's just, the most important thing is just who we are, who we basically are, our realness, our authenticity, which is something that just, I don't know how to say it, but it just makes us who we are, or when we're just real with ourselves, when we love ourselves, when when we're just really true to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we have to acknowledge our strengths and our weaknesses, because everyone is different. Everyone with autism is different, because you know like it's kind of like different puzzles. So one puzzle might be red, another puzzle might be purple. So that's kind of what autism is, because no one person with autism is the same. And it's just like how we were made as human beings. No one human is ever the same as another. We might be similar, we might have similar features, but we're entirely different in so many ways. And that's the I think that's a good thing about autism, that it teaches you to be it teaches you your uniqueness, and just you need to embrace what you have, what your weaknesses are, and sometimes, and even so, you can even turn your strengths. You can turn your weaknesses into strengths, and you know, basically, just like I said, stay true to yourself. And I've had family members, I've had people say, "Oh, don't use autism as a crutch. Don't use it as an excuse." No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm really acknowledging that I have autism, that you know, I have, there's certain actions that I have that isn't normal in society. So, it's not a crutch. It's something that I have to be aware of. And for so long, I guess, my parents haven't told me, or really no one has really told me that I had autism until I got much older, and maybe there was some reason for that. Maybe because I wouldn't understand it at the time, but now I understand it, and now I really want to get in depth with who I am. I really want to know who I am as a person, where I stand in my life, what my beliefs are, that type of self-awareness that's very important. And especially when I'm, a 19-year-old college kid, just trying to do his best to make it through school and college and pay tuition and everything like that. I'm still in a phase in my life where I'm still trying to find myself. And I feel like I feel like you can find yourself at any age. You know, it's no age limit. There's no restrictions in life. Life is just full of experiences that you're just like you're meant to experience. You're meant to see, and not. And I'm not saying that every experience is something that you should see, but life is just amazing. You have to embrace it. You have to embrace who you are, like I said. You have to embrace what's around you, your surroundings, the people you meet, the everything, nature, the animals you see, you know, your life, the fact that you have a beating heart and blood running through your veins is something unique. The fact that you're able to grow hair like at a certain age. When you're young, you got hair. Some people don't, unless you have a. Some people don't, unless you have a condition. But like pretty much everyone has hair. And that's why I grew dreads, because I just figured that this was something unique. This is something. It kind of signifies. I didn't grow it because it signifies like autism and my difference. But basically, I grew it because I wanted to be different from the rest. I didn't want, the same length, like all around. I just wanted something different because, everyone now, like, a lot of people's like hair looks the same. Everyone's rocking the same styles, and you just need something unique. Like a good example is like freeform locks. And I'm gonna make this analogy, y'all, but like autism is like freeform locks. Like every set of locks are different. And if y'all don't know what freeform dreads are like dreads that are matted together. Dreads that are like, how can I say it? It's like matted hair at the root. You just let your hair grow basically. So with like, it's basically growing your hair without maintenance. So that's kind of what autism is like. Autism is like a free form, type thing. So yeah, basically, you just have to really embrace yourself. You have to be aware of just, like I said, your surroundings. And, you know, I know in a lot of my videos, I might repeat stuff, and I might repeat like what I've said before, but I don't know. I just want to get a message across, and I don't want to say it's autism, but like, then again, I have to acknowledge that I have a different way of thinking, and I have a different way of expressing my thoughts. And sometimes it might take me longer than, the normal person to express my thoughts. So, yeah, basically, it's something that I have to deal with, like I've said in my other videos. This is something that I have to accept because, I don't know any cure for this. And no doctors haven't found any cure for autism, but you know what? And it's not so much that autism is a bad thing. People want to make it as like, the autistic kid, and oh, he can't speak, he's on the spectrum, and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, people, people on the spectrum can be pretty cool, right? Like, you, oh my gosh, like people like myself, you can't even tell that I have, like, if you meet me, you can't even tell that I have autism. Like, I'm high functioning. If y'all don't know what high functioning is like where you can like speak, where you can like communicate with people. You might still like have trouble, but like you can talk to that person. Like low functioning is where, it kind of, they're disabled basically. So like they can't, Like when you say something to them, they can't properly like talk to you. Like I'm talking to this camera right now, they can't do that. So that's what low functioning is. So basically, when people say, "Oh, he's on the spectrum," "Oh, he's this, that, and the third," I'm like, "Come on, y'all!" Like the fact that you're making fun of a disorder is like, it's absurd because like that's just I feel like it's insecurity, and I feel like it's it's cruelness because these people, autism isn't something that people choose to have, and people, like, what pisses me off sometimes is like people just have the nerve. They have the nerve to just pick on people, make fun of disabled people, and like, even, and it's not even just like socially, but I've seen newspapers and all these other things that have made like autism like a bad thing. Oh, he's got the spectrum, and or they like make a joke out of it, and it's not funny because with in my life I have to deal with this every single day. Knowing that there's not a cure for it, and like I have to deal with this every single day, you know, that's not funny. Like, what I feel like people have to do to me is like people have to put it's hard to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, when you've never had like autism before, but you have to at least put yourself in how they may feel, like when you make fun of people, and this is anybody. Like, I don't want to restrict this to just autism people, like people with autism, but I also want to I want to apply it to everybody because even though I may have like a disorder, I don't let it stop me. I don't let it stop me from doing my daily functions. I don't let I don't let it stop me from talking to people because, like, I don't know. It's like even though I know it's there, and I know people have told me, like my mom and my dad have told me about it. I don't let it stop me in my life. This is not a crutch. If it was a crutch, I would use as an excuse, but I feel like sometimes I have to tell people because I may act a certain way. I may act differently than the normal human, and I just want people to know that, I have autism, but, you know, and just because I have autism doesn't mean I'm like handicapped or like fully disabled. Like, no, that's not what it means. It just means I process information differently. It just means I I express my thoughts differently, or my feelings, even my emotions differently. And sometimes, people may not be able to tell how I may feel about certain things, or how, or just they might feel that I have like strange reactions to certain things, or that I may not laugh at certain things like everyone else. But I think that it has its pros and cons. But I mean, a lot of things in life are gonna have its pros and cons, and you know, like, you can't let things stop you. Like autism, I'm not letting it stop me. Even though I know I have a disorder, I'm gonna keep, you know, I'm gonna talk. Like, I'm gonna keep doing what I do, you know, and and yeah, maybe there are certain things that I shouldn't be doing. Like, even, you know, maybe there are things that I need to be taught, and just certain like actions that I should not do because that, that's not um, really accepted in society. But at the same time, I feel like people have to really accept you for who you are, and if they can't accept you for who you are, then they're not really your friends. Like, Like I've had a lot of people in my life where they just thought I was strange. They thought I was weird and all that, and really, I really am a nice person once you get to meet me. But like, I just feel like people just they're not open. They're not open to what that person can have, what problem a person can have. But I also realize that it's only natural for humans to judge something else, something that they may not know or they may think is strange. And I kind of understand that, but I feel like people also have to open their minds to new things. They have to, instead of to what they know all the time, they have to be open to learn different things, but yet not be gullible, which is something I have, trouble with. Like I've said in my other videos, like I struggle with being gullible. Like sometimes I can't even tell like what a person's true intentions are, but other times I can. So it's not like I'm stupid. Like I know I know what's there and what's not. I can figure things out. And I'm not saying that people with autism are stupid, because they're not. They're just disabled. I feel like when you label someone stupid, I feel like you can't label someone stupid. I feel like you can label someone's actions stupid, but I feel like just labeling just someone stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. Like I just feel like that doesn't really work. But yeah, like for real though, like autism is just something that I embrace every day, and I'm so proud. Like I've come a long way. Like my parents have like a full story. Like ever since I was 18 months old, I've had a long journey. Like I've met so many people in these 19 years. I'm almost 20, and like next September, I'm gonna be like 20. I'm gonna be 20 years old. So my birthday just passed, so I got 11 months. I can wait. But like it's just so much to my journey, what I've gone through, what I've done. I've so many accomplishments. I don't know what to say, and I feel like if it weren't for my parents that were supportive from day one, the fact that my parents acknowledged that I had autism, the fact that they helped me with my autism, the fact that they cared, it showed me their love for me, their unconditional love for me. And I thank them to this day, because like a lot of people just don't acknowledge when someone may have something. And my parents were like, they stepped up. As soon as they saw it, they were like, let's get this done. Like let's fix this. Let's help this. And I'm thankful for that. And if I ever have like kids that have autism, then I do the same thing. I'm like, look, this child may have some disorder. We need to get this checked out. You know, and that's I think that's just a piece of advice. If your child, or if you, I don't know, like this is to all the parents out there. It may seem a little bit strange for uh, having taking advice from a 19-year-old, but this is to all the parents out there. If you see your child acting strange, acting a certain way, please check them out. Like, please just get them checked out by a doctor. And I can understand, if you can't afford it. Doctors are expensive. You know, um, yeah, different, doctors are definitely expensive, and I completely understand that. But get them checked out, please, because you don't want them, you don't want it to catch up to them, and then like for the rest of their life they're like handicapped almost, and it's sad, you know. You don't want to see, nobody wants to see anyone handicapped. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're like cruel and they have no heart for one another. But I don't like to see people handicapped and in a wheelchair and just hanging their head. And I don't like to see that. I like to see them up and running and expressing their thoughts through the way they want to. Like, I mean, even if they are handicapped, you still have to accept people for who they are. But it's like you don't want anyone to be like crippled, and no one wants to see that. It's it's just something not pleasant to see. So when you just like see people, you really have to treat them good. Like, it doesn't matter if they're disabled or not. You don't know what that person may be going through inside of their mind, or what they're going through in general. It's just ethnical things that you just ethnical laws that you just have to follow. Like, I don't know, respect one another. You know don't wish bad things on one another, and just like we're all gonna make mistakes. And I think that just it's a balance in life, because life is like yin and yang. So it's like it's black and white basically. And there's gonna be good and bad, and like in the symbol there's like a black dot inside the white, and then there's a white dot inside the black. So it's like there's gonna be good and evil, and there's gonna be evil and good. But I feel like also some things in life you just can't determine good what's good and what's bad. Some things are like it is what it is, you know. And I think a lot of things are like it is what it is, because you can't always like judge things based on how they look. You know, I read about a story about a farmer, and a lot of things would happen to him, and people would say, "Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing," and the farmer would say, "Maybe." And one time the farmer's son, he broke his leg, and people gathered around the farmer, and then they kind of say, "Oh, that's so bad. That's bad that it happened to him." And then the farmer said, "Maybe." And you know why he said maybe? That's because he thought, that's because the farmer just accepted for what it is. The boy fell on his leg. Bam, that's it. There's no good or bad to it. That's just life. Life is going to be like that. Yes, there are things that are ethical, and yes, there's ethical rules, but also there's it. Good and bad does not matter. Life is just life. You just have to accept things for what they are. You know, if I have autism, I have autism. That doesn't mean it's a good or a bad thing. It's just that I have autism. I've been diagnosed with autism. It's nothing, and maybe it's not even neutral. It's just something that's there. That it is what it is. And you just have to accept it, basically. And that's what I think a lot of people just struggle with. Like, they don't accept things for what they are. Like, they want to put their own perspective onto things, or they want to like validate things, or give things like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but they really want to validate things, and that's not always necessary, because you just acceptance is one of the biggest parts in life. Like, you just have to accept things for what they are, but yet also you can make things happen too. So I mean, I feel like you just need a balance of both, basically. And yeah, that's basically it. On Autism Speaks 5, I just talked about basically my life experience, and you know, just what I think about the world, you know, what I think as a person with autism, you know. I'm just expressing my thoughts to everybody. And thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click those buttons, y'all. And see y'all later. It was really good talking to you guys, and I hope I can really make more videos to just help people and to just inspire people, because you know I really like doing this, and you know, just enjoying what I'm doing is, I think it's a great thing. So thank you guys for watching, and peace, y'all. See y'all later.